my father had a grocery business here at 3921 Fairview Street, the same site that we are now. And our home was next door to it. But I do understand that my father's first business was located on Fairview Street, where the former Weaver's Cleaners is now, across from Stanford L. Warren Library. And that as well was a grocery store. It was a full service supermarket. And my father went into the supermarket business after working part-time at, I think it was Colonial Food Stores, and he saw how much produce and food they would throw out at the end of a day. And so he said, there must be a lot of profit in grocery business if they can afford to throw this away. And so that's what gave him the idea to go into business. He went into business with Henry McLaughlin at, and they went into business together at a store called Neighborhood, which is where the former Vizop beauty salon is now located, beside the communications building up on Fairview Street beside North Carolina Central University. But as a child, I remember being able to run out of the house into the current location, and it was a full service grocery store. We had the meat market, we had the vegetable bin, but what was different was the fact that he sold barbecue and he sold dinners out of that, out of this location. And the reason why he did started preparing food was because of the credit business. He was losing a lot of money in credit. People would get groceries on Tuesday, promised to pay on Friday, but Friday never came. And so he had a friend named Bill Till Bagley, who asked him about making barbecue. Well, my father was from Mississippi, and he had never heard of barbecue. And Till said, well, Till was from South Carolina. He says, Sam, I'll teach you how to make it. My father was an intelligent man. He had graduated from Tuskegee Institute in 1934, which is located in Alabama. So he thought it over, and sure enough, they started making barbecue, and the people enjoyed it, and they wanted more. So I remember a barbecue pit that was located behind the business, where my father would make a lot of barbecue, and people would come and they wanted his barbecue sauce, and he started making barbecue sauce. We're still in business today because of my father's love for people, service, and the community. There's probably a lot easier ways to make money or to earn money than to try to run your own business. And as a minority, it can be extremely trying, because oftentimes we don't have a lot of the opportunities for financial support that other ethnic groups had. So basically, my father would have to make a profit one day and take that profit and go to the store or to the wholesale place and spend what the profit and make to get more items to come back and sell. We never had a cushion. He had to always take what he made the day before and buy and bring it back, and he was able to build a capital. Along the way, people have supported him. The bank institutions have supported him with small loans, nothing really major, but he was just able to be wise in his dealings. Always treated people the way he wanted to be treated, so people would always come back and support him. Also, as a very young child, I remember my mother having a beauty salon that was adjacent to the business, and so I never had to really wait for my parents. My parents never had a pay day or a check coming in. They always made their cash every day, and we still do that. The only money we have is the money that we create through this business. I am the youngest. I'm a former school teacher. I have 2 degrees from North Carolina Central University. But before I came on board, at the passing of my father in 1997, my brothers would run it. My brothers helped my father. My oldest brother, Alan Dillard, he's 19 years older than I am. I have a brother, Etzel, who's deceased. He ran the business, the grocery store, for my father many years. Alan ran the restaurant. I have a brother named James who worked at IBM, who would come in part-time and help my dad. And at one point, he ran it full-time. But currently, I am running the business, and I thought it was very important after the passing of my dad that we keep the business going so my mother could keep her head held high. in this city. You know, so often you hear about second generation businesses going out of business, and it's really been by the help of God and true grit and sheer determination and a lot of support of the community that I've been able to hang in there. I'm an educator by trade. Business is a different animal. It's a whole different world. And I'm in my 13th year now, and I like to think that I'm finally understanding the economics of business. And I'm really looking forward to it. We've even been able to cross over into the other ethnic groups where we have support from Latinos, Asians, Caucasians, as well as the minority, the blacks here in the city. And it's just an honor and a privilege to continue the legacy.
Okay, what's your relationship with the Durham Book?
During segregation, by my father being a business owner, he could supply people with jobs that had dignity and integrity. Before then, a lot of people were, well, not saying that a maid or a butler or a shoe shine boy didn't have dignity or integrity, but a lot of times those were the only jobs that were available for the minorities. But by my father going into the business, he was able to employ butchers and clerks and cashiers and delivery people and vegetable people, and it just brought a sense of self-esteem to people and pride within the community that they could go into a store that embraced their ethnicity, that would care about their family and what was going on, and that was willing to help them survive in time. So segregation was a blessing, because a lot of times people would come to us because they were not really welcome in other places. But after segregation, and once integration came into play, we saw a decline in some of the upper crust of the black community. People could go to IBM or Duke Hospital or the factory, and and go to other places where they would employ them, and they could have benefits and and stuff like that my father really could not offer people. So, but also on the flip side of integration is that we have been able to glean from white customers or Asian customers coming in to support us. I've actually had people to come here and say that they got on a plane in California, came to Durham, North Carolina to come to Dillard's to eat barbecue, to spend the weekend in North Carolina, and Dillard's was on their agenda to come because of the exposure that we had gotten from Rachel Ray or other Food Network channels. So integration, we've survived not only segregation, but we've survived integration also. This property was purchased from Vickers, and all of it was farmland. I remember my daddy having a farm in the back, and that's funny, you would mention that, chickens and goats, but that was a part of the property I didn't venture much into. I was always trying to get into the grocery store or whatever, but yeah, it was farm area, rural. If I remember correctly, I remember Federal Road being a dirt road. I remember when they paved it. This was, as a matter of fact, when my father moved to 3921 Fairview Street, where we are now, people really thought he was cutting his lifeline. And that, that may be how his business survived, because he moved so far away from the reconstruction or the demolition of Hayti until he was safe here. People really thought he was moving to the country. There was no bus line. You had to have a car to get here. It was just a chance that he took. And it may have been what saved our business.